Yeah, so I'm working on replacing the rotor and the caliper on the front of a 2002 Nissan Pathfinder. Yeah, as you can see, there's got a nice little bit of rust there. But all right, so first step is break all the nuts loose here, which tends to be a pain in the butt from time to time. So yeah, I'm gonna need two hands for this. So I got them broken loose, but what I didn't show you was that originally I had the jack supporting most of the weight, but the tire's still sitting on the ground, so you can break them loose. Now I did now jack it up and put an extra support, this way it doesn't fall. Alright, so next I'm going to take the tire off. Alright, now that the tire is now off, so I'm going to have to take the rotor off, and in order to take the rotor off you have to take this cap off, which you just kind of take a screwdriver and then you just slowly pry that out, and then it'll eventually walk out. Then you'll also need to take these bolts, which I believe were 13 millimeter, and then this brake caliper and housing, this the bracket kind of sandwiches the rotor, and actually you have to take this whole hub out, so that this way, because this is attached to the rotor. So let me get some of the tools and I'll keep going. Alright, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I already loosened this one up, but the bolts that hold the caliper in place, there's one here and then there's another one right down here. You want to take those out, and those are, I believe, a 14 millimeter. So now I took the bolts out. Well, they are just short little bolts that come out of here and they hold the caliper into place. Now, in order to take the caliper out, because like right now it's sandwiched in there because of the last time I stepped on the brake, what you could do is right inside here you stick the screwdriver right into that hole there and just pull back on it. What you're doing is you're applying pressure to the caliper and hopefully allowing the fluid to kind of go back into the system, releasing the caliper from the rotor. So you just kind of gently apply a little pressure. Let's see, it's a little loose, but a little bit more. And then there we go. So that one's off. Next, in order to get this bracket off, what you have to do is right in the back here, let's see, right there, there's one bolt and two bolts holding that bracket in. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they're either a 20 or a 21 millimeter, or even though it's a little loose, I have a 7/8 that I'm using. And now I know they tend to be on there pretty good. So what I've been using is the handle end of my lovely jack as an extension to give me a little more leverage. So alright, I definitely need two hands for this. After a little bit of convincing, I was able to break them loose. So now I'm trying to take the bracket off. Like I said, that they were on there pretty tight. So let me finish this off and I'll show you what next. So alright, so here is that bolt. Oh, automatic focus is off. Alright, so there's that bolt that holds it, or one of the two, and this bracket can now just slide right off. Now it's holding the brake pads, so those are in there. So now let me back up a little. Alright, here, this is the fun part. I'm going to leave the caliper on for right now. This way I don't have brake fluid dripping all over the place. Next, we're going to pry this piece off with a screwdriver and hammer, and then undo all these bolts. Alright, be back. So all you really need, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to prop this up a little. So all you really need to do is take the screwdriver, tap it in there, and just slowly try to pry it out. You'll notice that if it's happened before, somebody's replaced the rotor, you'll see a little dent in there somewhere along the edge. But all it takes is just a little gentle push to try and take it off. So as you can see, it's beginning to come off. All I'm doing is just slowly working it around, trying to get it to come off. And let's see, nope, not yet. There we go. And that's it. Now, in here, there is this little clip right there. Let's see, where the heck are my pliers? Needle nose. Now, of course, they make special tools for this, but there is, see that clip right there? That clip has to get taken out. So what you need to do is slowly pull that out. Now, obviously you can try and use it again, or make sure that you get a new one so before you even start that, but let me pull that out right now. So I was able to get that clip off of there. All I used was a set of needle nose and a flathead screwdriver. Probably not the best types of tools. You'll notice that, where the heck is it? There it is. You see the end of the top piece right over here? There's, yeah, they're there. There's little holes that you could use, like special ring pliers to make it flex outward and pinch it off. So now, next step, and I actually just broke them loose, is you want to undo these and then stick that same screwdriver and begin to pry it off. But be gentle, just slowly work your way around and slowly pull that off, because there is bearings and stuff inside there, and I'll get to that. So alright, I got those nuts off. I actually already did pound. All I did was just slightly tap it inside there, and then you'll notice that it's already coming off, so I can continue to just take the screwdriver and just work it around. Take your time, because like I said, there's bearings inside there, and there's all kinds of other stuff, but and grease, lots of lovely grease, and there we go. Alright, so we got that side and we got this side. Now inside here, underneath all this lovely grease, is a couple of screws that you have to take off, usually across from each other, and then a washer, and then a nut. And I'll kind of get into that. I'm going to clean this off and I'll be right back. So okay, so now you can see those two screws. All you want to do is just use a Phillips heads. They're light and easy. All they do is they kind of hold this bracket right here, this like washer type piece, up against another piece behind it, which is actually kind of like a threaded nut. So, oh, don't lose it. Put that over there. Uh-oh. There we go. Alright, so now this piece should just come right off, as if there wasn't so much grease on it. Probably would come easily. Ow! Fingernail. There we go. Okay. So you'll notice that it also has little teeth on the middle. That's to line it up. Now, also there's another, that piece right inside here, this one, that one is a nut. And then you'll notice that there's a similar hole pattern on this one. And that's what the screws kind of fasten into. And we'll kind of talk about that in a minute. But let me put this down, grab some more tools, and I'll show you how to take that nut out. Alright, I got some of my tools here now. You'll notice that there's some bigger holes, and then there's some smaller holes inside that this whole piece is kind of like a nut. What you'd want to do is just kind of take a screwdriver into the bigger hole and then kind of give it a little whack it with a little hammer, so that this way it begins to loosen it up. Let's see if I can hold this in place while I do that. So just some light little taps, begin unscrewing it, and you'll get to a point where all you have to do is just use the screwdriver to slowly pull it off. And that's all it is. just set that aside. All right. From here, all you want to do is just slowly pull it out. Like I said, there's a bearing right there, so you have to be careful. It will come falling out. So just slowly, I'm trying to do this one-handed. Let's see if I can put it. So, wiggle it, and there's the bearing. There's the bearing. See it? Set that to the side. And then on the back side, oh, lovely grease. I'm going to have to replace all that. But on the back side of it is the hub where it has also the speed ABS sensor, I believe, and also another bearing on the back side. Now, what we need to do is we got to take this piece off of off of the rotor. Best bet would be to use an electric impact or hydraulic impact, but I don't unfortunately have one at the moment. I used to have one, but somebody stole it from me. So what I got to do is I'm going to clamp this down and take this bracket off and put the new one on. So I'll get back to you on that. So to make it a little easier for me, I clamped it to my boat trailer so that this way it's not going to move, or at least hopefully it won't, and so now I can break these loose and then pull that off. So let me go through taking those off and I'll get back to you. So I've loosened